Hi everyone, Leanne here from Jaded Blossom, and I have a little congratulations card to share with you today. Hey everybody, I'm using our Alphabet Dice 2, Hard Work, Kawaii Guts, Kawaii Medicine, and I've got a piece of Ballet Slipper Concord and Ninth cardstock, and I'm using Honeysuckle Concord and Ninth ink. And I'm just using some Post-it tape, and I'm just going to tape off my score line there, and I'll be doing some freehand stamping. So I'm pulling out the different organs, and I'm going to freehand stamp them onto the background of my card with acrylic blocks, and I'm doing it on a piece of foam, just to make it easy. And, make sure that I get a good image. So the only drawback to using mini inks is that sometimes you can tap the center of your stamped image. It's a way to, get a bunch of different colors though, because they are quite a bit cheaper than the full-sized ink pads. So I do that a lot. But here you go. Here's my boo-boo. I left it in because you don't want to get rid of a card once you've started going on it. And I thought to myself, no, I can fix this. So there we are. So I am making a quick congratulations card for my daughter, Chelsea. She'll be graduating from med school shortly. And she just went through match day. She's going into internal medicine. So we're all really proud of her. So she will be Dr. Kubinec very shortly. So I thought I'd make a quick little card to go with her graduation gift. There we go. So I'm just stamping all the different organs. I've got the stomach, I've got the kidney, I've got the lung, I've got the liver, the heart. There we go. There's the stomach again. And I'm just doing some quick stamping, just an all over background. So, easy peasy stuff. I've done this before on different cards. So basically you're just making a big piece of your own pattern paper. There we go. That's my favorite one. I love the heart image from this stamp set. And like I said, just, easy stamping, nothing too crazy. So that cardstock is a ballet slipper from Concord and Ninth, 4.25 by 11 inches, scored at 5.5 to give you a vertical A2 sized card. There we go. I love the Concord and Ninth cardstocks, and I love their ink. They match perfectly. They're gorgeous. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. There we are. So I'm just sort of filling in any empty places. And then we'll get rolling to the next part. So this was relatively simple. You can't really go wrong with this. No problems doing this kind of all over background. So now I'm using Build a Gingerbread Man. And I'm pulling two of the faces off that stamp set. And I'm also pulling the face mask off of that stamp set called Kawaii Medicine. And I'm just going to go ahead and stamp a few faces and a few face masks on this background. So I'm using VersaFine Clair or Nocturne ink, sorry. And I'm just quickly stamping these on my background. And these little masks just crack me up. And it's kind of, it's not really that funny because, of course, we are going through this whole COVID thing right now. But what are you going to do? We have no choice about it, so we might as well get used to wearing the masks until we are all immunized and we can finally get past this horrible COVID situation that we're all dealing with. So there we are. Like I said, just quickly adding the faces. And, Jaded Blossom has quite a few adorable little faces. Like I said, those two faces are from Build a Gingerbread Man, and they are so cute. But Jaded Blossom has a lot of different, little face images that you can use on a bunch of different sets. So, interchangeable and super cute. There we go. So I just add a little face to the lungs. So now I'm pulling out my Sakura White Jelly Roll pen in a number 10, and I'm going to add little highlights on all the eyes. And, Bob's your uncle, it'll be really fast and done. There we go. Just tapping that white Sakura gel pen and getting some nice little highlights there. There we go. Now I've got my Copic marker, and that is an R27. And I'm just barely touching the little tongues on the faces. Now, that is not a Copic friendly ink, so be careful. So I'm pulling out Birthday Girl from Photo Play. That is like a 6x6 inch pad. And I'm going to stamp the little masks on this little polka dotted background. I just, picked it because it matched. And I'm going to do some paper piecing with those masks. So I'm going to quickly just cut the masks out. So easy peasy. I'm using my EK Success little mini scissors there. That's what I tend to use when I'm cutting out anything to paper piece. I'm cutting right on the line. And then I'm going to take a Memento Tuxedo Black marker and I'm going to edge it. So I'm basically just coloring the side of the cardstock. So when you line it up with the stamped black image, it'll blend right in. So first I start to use my Zig two-way glue pen, and it works on the first one, but then it sort of won't come out on my second one, and I didn't want to fart around with it. So I pull out my art glitter glue to add the rest of them. There we go. It's got a needle tip. Of course, you got to be careful because this stuff is very liquidy and it'll squish out. So, like I said, be careful. But I do quite like the glue. It's pretty handy. And I have it in a little bottle again from Simon Says Stamp, just in case you haven't seen my videos. There we are. Also, I'm not sure if I said that I always score my cards with a Teflon bone folder. You need one of those. They're great. There we go. And those are EK Success tweezers. I use them all the time. They're really handy. So now I'm going to take that same secure white Jelly Roll pen in a number 10, and I'm just going to fill in the little ties on that mask. And, just so they're different than the organs themselves. Not that I'm coloring in the organs. This is just kind of like a fun all-over look, like an all-over pattern. So now I'm going to score that or fold it. And I'm taking my card mat dies, what are they called? No, card layer dies 2. And I cut out honeysuckle cardstock from Concord and Ninth using that. So I cut out those 3 little flag-shaped pieces. And I'm going to stamp congrats from that graduation set. That prescription piece is from the, I think, what are they called? Get Well Soon dies. I think. Medical dies, Get Well Soon dies. And of course, I don't have them in front of me, but they'll be listed on my blog, like always. I stamped that Congratulations in VersaFine Claire Nocturne. The black prescription cutout, that was cut out of American Crafts black cardstock. And I'm using my Simon Says Stamp Craft Tacky glue. Just making sure I don't have too much so it won't ooze all over the place. There we go. So I'm just sort of sticking it down. You'll notice that little tab that I'm putting the Congrats Doctor on covered up my little stamping faux pas. So it was perfect. So I'm going to have, prescription Congrats Dr. Kubinec, because that's what my daughter's going to be called from now on, which is kind of cool. There we are. So those are the alphabet dies too. And I just cut those out also using the American Crafts black cardstock. It's a little bit textured. I'm just trying to get everything straight. Now this is just kind of like a fun card. So, not too hard to put together. There we are. How cute is that? So prescription, Congrats, Doctor, and then Kubinec. I'm just tapping it on the back of that piece. I'll be gluing it on the inside, but I can use the background I can use the back of it to just kind of tap off the extra glue. Just trying to make sure this is nice and straight. And yeah, kind of fun. So this year is kind of crappy because, when you have a kid graduating from med school, you kind of want to see them walk the stage. But there will be no stage walking this year because of COVID, unfortunately. Luckily for me, I was lucky enough to see her graduate from university and also get a master's degree. So I've seen her walk the stage a couple of times, but it's still kind of sad. We won't be able to have a big party either because we're in lockdown. So this is just going to be strictly you know, strictly us at home celebrating with her. There we are. So now I'm going to decorate the inside. That is a 2-inch slice of that same paper from Photoplay's Birthday Girl 6x6 pad. And I just sort of pop it up like a little less than 1/4 inch from the bottom. There we go. And I'm going to stick down that little flaggy piece that I have from that layer dies from the layer dies from Jaded Blossom. The card layer dies too. Sorry, guys. Now that piece there is from the Gable Box dies. It's the front layer, and I cut it out using that ballet slipper cardstock from Concord and Ninth, and I'm going to stamp that sentiment. That's from the same graduation little stamp set. It'll be listed on my blog. So when you work hard, amazing things will happen, which is kind of fun. And I cut the honeysuckle just a 1/4 inch larger. So I've got a little bit of a border around the whole thing. And then I'm going to pop that on the inside of the card. There we are. I'm using that Simon Says Stamp Craft Tacky Glue again. There we go. So, easy peasy stuff. I love dies from Jaded Blossom. I love the stitching. It just adds something a little bit more finished. So now this is the fancy heart dies. And I've said before, I love to use the hearts from this. And, I'm becoming a broken record, I know. You notice that I'm popping them out with a bamboo skewer. The little wood skewers that you do some cooking with. I keep those, and I love to pop my dies out with them because they don't leave marks on your dies. Anyway, so I'm going to pop a little heart on the bottom of this little sentiment from the inside, and then I'm going to add 3 hearts to the outside like I usually do. And these will all be quite flat. So this is like quite a flat card. So if you're mailing it, it would be easy peasy to mail. Of course, I'm not mailing it. I'm giving it to my daughter who's living with us at the moment. It was a little bit, a little more cost effective to live at home when you're in med school. If you're in your hometown, it's very expensive, so you might as well, right? Now she'll be going away for residency, so I'm going to be an empty nester this summer. It'll be sad. There we are. So now I'm going to take my We Are Memory Keepers corner chomper, and I'm going to use the 1/2-inch corner rounder on the opposite corners. And I'm taking out my glossy accents that's also in a little bottle, the same bottle that I put my art glitter glue in. They're pretty handy. They're cheap, like just little cheap bottles from Amazon. And what's nice is that they're easy to squeeze. So that's why I quite like them. And they've got the little needle tip, which, keeps everything pretty accurate. There we go. So I'm just going to make sure all the glossy accents are in place, and that's about it. So thank you so much for stopping by, and I hope to see you soon in my next video. Bye, everyone.